Story number one, our neighborhood AI watch. I like doing the AI watch. Thanks for bringing these up. Today, we got not new, but it's new to the mass market. Chat GPT can now see, hear, and speak. Before, it was just talking and reading your words. Now we got three other senses or ways to incorporate all of the stuff we're sending it. It's spooky. And I don't know, idea of all the stuff that Chat GPT was doing, and now this idea that it can now see, hear, and speak. That means you can plug it up to your camera. That means you can plug it up to your microphone. That means you can plug it up to your headphones. It can talk to you. It and tell you what it is thinking in ways that we hadn't considered before. So, Theo, how are you feeling about this new evolution, this new growth spurt? That's what we'll call it, of Chat GPT, because this beast is growing, right?
It is, Mr. Benja. It is. It's just we see obviously ChatGPT, OpenAI, and then I saw Amazon is putting some money into Anthropic. I think that's the name of the rival AI company as well. Is trying to do some stuff. So yeah, ChatGPT is in the lead. I think this is a direct outgrowth too of looking for new data to help train the model, so if it can see, hear, collect that data set, and continue to learn. That'd be huge for it so they can leverage more and more users to help it with that. Because I think my philosophy or my prediction is that with the writer's strike restricting AI from getting credit for any rewrites and things like that, and other industries looking to restrict AI from like Getty images, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I predict that more and more industries are going to be like, no AI, you can't have my stuff. My data is my data. It's not my own large language model, right? I hire some AI guy to help me do it. So I think OpenAI, this is the only thing they have to do, right? Just they have to get more data sets and having it being able to see things, to look at images, be able to hear things, to put that into a large language model. It's going to be so key for it to continue to grow. That's from a business standpoint, right? And so now the challenge is, who do people trust with in the AI world? I don't know if people trust any of these systems right now. We're using them, but if you're really building a business right now, are you going to trust either OpenAI or Anthropic or any other or Facebook even with your data to help train it? I don't know. So
Mm.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and for context, I'm just thinking about all of the different applications for an AI system like this being able to see, hear, and speak. So let's say you just turn your webcam on and just have it sitting there. And it's funny, if you're not putting tape over your webcam, you need to, because they're actually search engines. I'm dead serious. They're search engines that will go through webcams. They'll find routers that have ways into your webcam, and their search engines just like, hey, is there anybody in Florida, in Tallahassee, Florida, who has their webcam on? It could ask something like that. This hacker-based search engine, right? I'm not even gonna.
Mm,
I'll let you find it if you want to really go down that path for research purposes only. But yeah, there are search engines where you can do that. And now that you've got AI, you're like, hey, AI, I can parse through this. Let me see if I can find a celebrity. Let me see if I can find some government official. Let me see if I can find somebody I can potentially rob from just by running AI on this and combine that with this webcam hacking. A lot of hacking is based on whether or not we think this information is useful or not. A lot of times hackers just don't care. They have access, but don't care. It's, yeah, whatever. It's this random guy. And it's like, no, do
yeah.
you know that's such and such's brother? Or do you know that's that guy has
Well,
access to?
the thing is, you make a good point. They'll keep it. They don't know if it's useful or not, but they'll have it somewhere. And when they find
Exactly.
out what the access is for, oh yeah, that was the prime minister's second cousin. I'm there,
Exactly.
dog. Let's do it.
So that could lead to a whole different thing. I'll let your thoughts run wild on that. Webcam. Yeah, exactly. Webcams or have an AI bot that's listening in on your microphones. In fact, it
Mr.
can be
Benja, I'm not in conspiracy mode right now,
but
I heard that
uh-oh.
this is already happening. If your phone is nearby, I'm literally experiencing it with my wife. We talked about something, and next thing you know, she pops up Facebook. There's an ad for whatever we talked about. So there have been, summations, machinations, my favorite word, around how, yes, how this is already potentially possible. So I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. But with the bad, there's always a good. You can have a camera inside of your refrigerator, or you can just take a picture of like all this food you have and say, hey, what can I cook for 5 people? Chat GPT, boom. I understand images, but so I can see. I got you. And it'll just go in there and whip up a recipe. You could take a picture or go over a video of a group full of people. And if you're trying to search for somebody, a missing person, let's say you're trying to search for somebody that may be about to have a heat stroke at a carnival or a festival or something. You could have cameras actually point out, like, hey, that dude has all the symptoms of a heat stroke, and people can run out and help him out. You can have people dispatched. So there's a lot of good that this could do. And it's going to need its own type of governance and what do you call them? The beneficial actors that push this thing in the right direction and keep it out of the wrong hands, basically.
If we want to talk about that, look, there's somebody who's upset now about AI, Mr. Benja. America's dad, Tom Hanks. He warns fans to beware of a dental plan ad featuring an AI version of him. He said in so many words, I have nothing to do with it. He says, beware. There's a video out there promoting some dental plan with an AI version of me. I have nothing to do with it. He was telling his 9.5 million followers on Instagram. Mr. Benja, so yeah, this is along those lines, Mr. Benja. I think what we're seeing is, yes, these tools can do amazing things and wonderful things, but the trust factor, man, is starting to go down, especially for the creators who realize what these tools are doing. Especially, we talked about the Writers Guild, the
Hmm.
SGA, SAG, and NAFTA. They're negotiating this week. We'll see what terms they come with. I guarantee this Tom Hanks thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone who created it just to finagle with the negotiations on the SAG after thing, right? Because
Yeah.
this is along the lines of what they don't want to see, right? They don't want to see fake images of themselves in ads being used in perpetuity, and the actor themselves did not get credited for that or compensated for it. So yes, these tools can do more and more powerful things, which is, and at one time that was exciting. Remember those exciting times? Mr. Benjamin, we've been friends so long. I remember being in your dorm room when Netscape announced, and we were so hyped. They said, "Oh, it's a
Yep.
browser. Wow, what is that? I don't know what that is, but we're gonna be on a browser to go see stuff on the
Yes.
internet." You remember that day?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And we were like so hype about technology. I think those days are over, Mr. Benja. People know how nasty technology can get, and they're gonna be like, I don't know if I want AI to do all this stuff anymore. And so I think that's gonna be the first 25 years of this explosion of technology. The next 25 years is just gonna be the opposite of that.
Can you stop it? It's like,
You can't. I agree. You can
what
never
you gonna
stop
do? What you gonna do?
technology, but you can slow it down or put
You
it
can
in a little box.
you can slow down the consumer implementation of it. You will not slow down the business case uses of it. And so when someone goes to the box office and you see the person typing at the computer, they may just be they're not doing anything. They don't need those people there. So you're going to start getting a lot of this back end and under the surface level stuff that changes because people don't want to see the surface level change, and they'll just change the underlying mechanisms. They still have this at a lot of restaurants. It's yeah, I could use online ordering, but we have waiters and waitresses there simply for the fact that people want to order from people.
Mm.
It's not that we actually need those people. I want to get to a point where there's one waiter walking around the entire place, just like, hey, how y'all doing? Maybe we don't even call him a waiter. We call him the restaurant steward, where he just
Mm.
walks around talking to people, shaking hands. Hey man, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Da da da. Oh yeah, just tell me what you want to order, and they tell you, and he's not even listening. He's got a microphone. It's hooked into the AI Chat GPT. It automatically sends the order to the back room. The robots in the back cook it up, and the fake chef comes out and says, "Hey guys, your order's gonna be ready soon. I'm just working on some things." Wow, he's handling all the orders by himself? Yeah, man, I got my AI robots in the back doing all of it. We're just here. We're just a face, man. We're just actors. I don't cook. He doesn't actually know how to bring food out. He doesn't know the difference between the souffle and the flambe. Come on, man.
I don't either, but
We're
yes.
all we're all gonna have it's all just gonna be a face. Everybody's gonna be a face. And that's
Well,
not
you
a
know
bad
what?
thing. It's not a bad thing.
Mr. Benja, there was a CEO, and he's not wrong because I've thought about this as someone who
Mm.
owns his own business. He pretty much he hires what 1,000 people, do all these different things in his company. He said within 5 years, he could probably run his whole company with just AI alone. He's not wrong. There's a lot of stuff that with some of the folks that I hire, the way we're using technology, they're using it more and more, and you start realizing, what am I paying for? If you're just doing the bare minimum, putting some stuff in AI to come out with these answers, if you're not expanding upon that, it's like, I don't need you. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I think we're going to start seeing that. So to your point, yes, this is show versus business. Business will always take precedence. I think the challenge is if they want to get more access to data, they're going to need consumers, actors, creators, unless they find a way to incentivize them,
Wait,
to
what do you
use
mean
their
need access
data.
to data? I mean, what do
The AI systems to train them to build up their systems to learn more and more faster and faster. Now, to your
okay.
point, they've gotten data up to this point from the internet. Any new stuff that's starting to come out, I think people are going to be very restrictive of that knowledge, right? That data that they,
Sure.
created. So the AI won't learn. They'll still have some base knowledge. I would just say, hey, these AI systems are probably trained up until 2022, 2023. But then maybe going forward, like all these industries are going to start shutting down access to their data in some kind of form or fashion.
But they're just gonna use their own data.
Who's that?
I
The
mean,
AI systems?
yeah,
Yeah.
did you see that link I sent you from Frank Kern?
What do
Uh,
you say?
so he's got this new AI system, and it basically makes a chatbot based off of the AI of his own knowledge
Okay,
base.
yes. And that's
Now,
what I'm
so
saying. They're gonna create their own large language models for just their data sets, to your point. So it's gonna
mhm,
be limited. But I'm talking about the big, like big oil, right? Big AI, like OpenAI or
mhm.
Anthropic or Facebook. They're not gonna have access to that data, and their systems are gonna be limited to certain subsets. And really, the most valuable data is gonna be very nuanced and specific, just like in sales, right? If I sell to you, the higher profitability is if I sell
Mhm.
to you something very specific to you. So if I say, Mr. Benja, I will sell you your artist, the best pen ever. If you do this pen, you can sell $1 million art pieces of art, right? And so to you, you would pay almost anything, $10,000 for that pen. There's a specific product to you. So the ones who have the specific data sets to their industries and to their audiences, to their avatars that they're selling to, yes, the AI will be valuable for them. I'm just talking about big AI. They're not going to be the ones who have access to the data, if that makes sense.
I don't think they need it
Okay.
because I think everyone's just gonna license out to each other, or you can make
Mhm.
predictive models where it's like, "Oh, I can." In fact, you're gonna have bad actors too, like somebody from some other country who doesn't care about your morals or anything. It's, "Hey, I'm gonna pay $10,000 or whatever to get all your information and license it in some other country, and then once I've licensed it, I'm like, 'Thank you.'" Make a copy of all that data and say sell it back to somebody in the US and be like, "Hey, look, I've got data that's similar to what this guy has." Oh, man, that's such an easy workaround. I've seen entire websites and online stores get copied, cloned, remixed, repeated,
Good
done
point.
literally dozens of times more than the original creator. So licensing, good luck with it. But yeah, this is an AI war, right?
Yes, it is.
So you got to talk about one of the big players.